Hello everyone, my name is Simarjot Kaur. So today we'll be discussing about natural resources. Alright, so let's just begin with understanding what a natural resource is. Any stock or reserve that can be drawn from nature is a natural resource. For example, we have air, water, forest, coal, minerals and soil. As you can see in the picture, we have forests as a source, then water as a source, coal as a source. So now let's just see what are the kinds of natural resources that we have. We have two categories of natural resources. One is renewable and the other one is non-renewable. Now what is a renewable resource? A renewable resource are the resources which are replenished naturally and they come back to us over a relatively short period of time. Then we have the non-renewable resources, the resources which once used cannot be regenerated. There's a difference between them. We can see that in the picture. Renewable resources, the one we have hydropower, solar, biomass, geothermal and wind, which can be reused again and again. They can be replenished if we use them for once. Then we have the non-renewable ones which cannot be replenished, which cannot be regained or regenerated, like oil, coal, nuclear gas and natural gases. Okay. Next we have the major natural resources. We have 6 categories as such for the major resources which contribute maximum for our growth. So first of all, we have the forest resource, second water resource, third mineral resource, food resource, energy resource and land resources. So let's just see in detail about these a bit, that what are forest resources, what are water resources, mineral and so on. So the first one, forest resource. The forest resource, what are forests? A green blanket which is covering earth is a forest, right? Now forest has multiple goods benefits to us. It provides us services in one way and other. So the two services or two uses of forest which we can categorize are the commercial and the ecological one. So the commercial one, like foods, condiments, medicines, that the things that we obtain for our own uses. Number 2, the ecological uses, the uses like oxygen, balancing of hydrological cycle, all those things are the ecological uses of the forest. Now, are we exploiting our forest? Yes, for obvious, we are carrying out deforestation, we are carrying out multiple types of activities which is causing damage to our forests, to our very important natural resource. So the exploitation of forests has taken place to meet human demands in following ways. Let's just see them. So number 1, due to wood cutting and large scale logging for raw materials, then deforestation due to road constructions, clearing of forests for agriculture purposes, encroachment of forest leading to destruction, and then our 78% of the forest area is under heavy grazing, that is overgrazing as a part, then mining activities leading to clearing of the forest, and then the hydropower projects which results in large scale destruction of the forests. Now, obviously if we are causing damage to something, there are consequences. So let's just see what are the different types of consequences which we are facing by the destruction of the forest resource. First of all, it threatens the existence of the man-wildlife species due to destruction of their natural habitat. Then biodiversity is lost, and along with that genetic diversity is eroded. Then hydrological cycles get affected, thereby influencing the rainfall. Then the problem of soil erosion, loss of soil fertility, this also increases. And in hilly areas, there are often that we see landslides. Then more carbon is added to atmosphere and the global warming is enhancing. So just because we are cutting down the forest, we are facing these consequences. Now the next resource, the next important resource that we have is the water resource. Now water is indispensable resource on earth. Our entire life, each and every type of life, either it be microorganisms, human beings, plants, animals, they depend on water. Now 97% of the earth is covered with water. Because water has many unique properties, apart from it is vital for our survival, it has multiple properties because of which it turns out to be very important resource for us. So let's see what are the sources of fresh water that we have. We have very few sources of fresh water. We just have groundwater and the surface water. Now, the groundwater, the water which percolates down the soil and is not picked up by the roots, moves downward slowly until it reaches an impervious layers of rock. That is a groundwater source for us. That too fresh water source. Then the surface water, the water containing through precipitation like rainfall, snowfall, when does not percolate down into ground or does not return to the atmosphere as evaporation or transpiration losses, assumes the form of stream, ponds, wetlands, is a surface water. Now, human interference is also causing damage to the water resources. Two damages that we face is floods and droughts. Now, floods, heavy rainfall causes floods. Droughts, when annual rainfall is below normal or less than evaporation, drought conditions are created. Then we have the mineral resources. Minerals, what are minerals? Minerals, naturally occurring inorganic crystalline solids having a definite chemical composition and characteristic physical and chemical properties, are minerals. Now we have two types of minerals. One which is used for the economy of a nation, and other one which is used for the defense purposes. The one which we use for the economy is the critical minerals like gold, copper, aluminium, and then we have the strategic minerals which are required for the defense of a country. For example, we have manganese, cobalt, platinum and chromium. Then apart from that, the minerals can be categorized on the basis of their properties. Like we have the metallic minerals and the non-metallic minerals. Now, metallic minerals which have some sort of magnetic property within them, like iron, non-ferrous metals, silver and gold. Then non-metallic minerals like graphite, diamond, silver and platinum. Next resource that we have is the food resource. So, naturally or artificially produced materials which are used as food to derive metabolic energy are called the food resources. Now, food is ultimate source of metabolic energy, body repair, body nutrients and heat balance. Along with that, it is required for our daily activities. Now, we have types of food resources. Number one is the agriculture crop. Number two is the livestock. Number three is the fish. So, agricultural crops, all cereals, pulses, vegetables and foods are the part of them. Livestock, food obtained from animals like meat, milk, egg, honey. Then fish, the major part of world population depend on fish as a food resource. For example, we have fish, crab, prawns. Now, there are many factors which are affecting or which are causing food problems. So, first, let's see what are them. Number one, geographical condition. Number two, lack of rainfall. Then population growth, natural hazards, inadequate distribution system, poor quality of soil, social disturbances and terrorism. And then more than 800 million people around the world are facing food shortage and malnutrition. So, what are the effects of food resources, or what are the effects of food production on our environment? Food production, like agricultural practices, it is causing three main damages to us, like waterlogging and salinity, eutrophication and biological magnification. Next resource that we have is the energy resource. Now, an energy resource is something that can produce heat, power, life, move objects or produce electricity. We generally say that the source which provides us heat or electricity is an energy resource. As you can see, solar radiation, hydro power, wind energy, tidal, geothermal and biomass. So, we have two types of energy resources, the one which are renewable, the other one which are non-renewable. So, the renewable one which can be regenerated once used, and non-renewable one which cannot be regenerated once used. So, what are the major sources of energy that we have? Number one, we can see the renewable one, and number two, we can see the non-renewable one. So, renewable one, the subcategories for the same are solar energy, wind energy, hydropower, tidal energy, ocean thermal energy, geothermal energy, biomass energy, and last, hydrogen as a fuel. Then, non-renewable energy resources like coal, petroleum, natural gases, nuclear energy. Next resource that we have is land. Obviously, any type of resource, either it be water, either it be forest, everything exists on land. So, land and land resources refers to a delineable area of the Earth's terrestrial surface encompassing all attributes of biosphere immediately above or below this surface. So land is finite and valuable resource upon which we depend for our food, fiber and fuel wood. So every type of resource exists on land. So land turns out to be the most important one for us. So the conservation of natural resources is important for us. How we can do that? We have multiple examples that we can count for the same. So what is the main idea? The main idea of conservation is to use natural resources with optimization and do not waste any natural resource. All must do is to act according to the situation so that we use the natural resources in a minimal form. For example, we can count multiple areas or multiple examples or multiple methods that we as an individual can adopt in order to conserve our natural resources. For example, saving water, making afforestation, that is planting trees, stop cutting of trees like deforestation, we should stop that. Then using electricity in limit while nobody, to make sure that all the electronic appliances are switched off. So all other methods we can count, many techniques that we can count by which we can conserve our natural resources, either it be forest, either it be water, either it be land, either it be energy, food, etc. So we can adopt multiple methods for the same. Thank you.